My name is Charlotte. I am 38 years old, though most people tell me I look younger. I don't know how to respond when they say that. Beauty, when it is spoken aloud, often feels like a burden rather than a gift. It becomes a thing people notice before they notice you. I am a lecturer at a college literature, to be precise. Words have always been safer for me than people. Books do not leave. Stories do not betray you unless you ask them to. I was married once. My husband left quietly, the way a man leaves when he has already mourned the relationship while still inside it. There were no children, no court battles, no shouting. Just papers, signatures, and an echoing house that suddenly felt far too large for one woman. People assume a divorced woman must carry bitterness. I didn't. I carried something worse. Silence. My days followed a rhythm so steady, it almost felt artificial. I woke early. I dressed carefully, not to impress, but to feel composed. I taught classes filled with young voices, restless minds, half-formed dreams. I smiled. I corrected essays. I encouraged ideas. In the evenings, I returned to my apartment, cooked simple meals, and read until sleep claimed me. Loneliness does not always scream. Sometimes it sits beside you, patient, waiting. I noticed him early in the semester. Not because he was loud, he wasn't. Not because he was brilliant, though he was intelligent. I noticed him because he looked at me as if I mattered. His eyes followed my words, not my body. When I spoke, he listened, not as a student listens to pass an exam, but as someone absorbing something personal. He was younger, much younger. I knew that from the start. I told myself it meant nothing. Students admire teachers all the time. It fades. It always fades, but his didn't. He waited until the corridor was empty. "Ma'am," he said, voice trembling, "I need to tell you something. I already knew. Every woman knows before she is told. I care about you," he said. Not as a teacher, as a woman. I should have shut it down immediately. I should have been firm, professional, distant. Instead, I was human. I told him gently that it was impossible, that I was older, that life was not a storybook, that feelings were not enough. He didn't argue. He didn't plead. He just said, "I understand. But my feelings won't change." Weeks passed. He didn't cross boundaries. He didn't touch me. He didn't send messages he shouldn't. He was simply there. When I was tired, he noticed. When I doubted myself, he spoke confidence into me. When I laughed, he looked as if he had won something priceless. And slowly, dangerously, I began to feel seen again. Loneliness makes you vulnerable in ways you don't recognize. Until it's too late, I fought it. I reminded myself of the age difference, of my position, of how foolish it would look. But love does not ask permission. It arrives quietly, disguised as comfort. One evening, after a long day, I realized I was waiting to see him, waiting for his presence, the way one waits for warmth in winter. That terrified me. And yet, it thrilled me. It wasn't dramatic. No kiss, no confession, just a conversation where he spoke about his dreams. And I realized I cared deeply about whether they came true. That's when I knew I loved him, not recklessly, not blindly, but sincerely, against my better judgment. We were careful. Painfully careful, no public displays, no rumors, just quiet conversations, shared walks, laughter that felt stolen. He told me I made him feel strong. I told him he made me feel alive. For the first time in years, I allowed myself hope. And hope, I would later learn, is the most dangerous thing of all. It was a warm afternoon. I was walking across campus, lost in thought, when I heard laughter ahead, loud, careless laughter. Something about it made me slow my steps. I recognized his voice. I didn't mean to listen, but my name stopped me cold. Charlotte, one of the boys laughed. How did you manage that? And then I heard his voice, the voice that once spoke love to me. I forced it, he said, laughing. Persistence works. I told you I could do it. Voice. So you won the bet. Yes, he said. Now give me my money. The world didn't spin. It didn't collapse dramatically. It simply went silent. I stood there, invisible, listening to my love become a joke, listening to my trust turn into currency, money. That's what my heart was worth. I walked away before they saw me. I don't remember how I reached my apartment. I don't remember taking off my shoes. I only remember sitting on the floor, unable to breathe, asking myself one question over and over. How could I have been so foolish? Betrayal is a strange kind of grief. You are mourning something that never truly existed. Every memory becomes suspect. Every word feels contaminated. I didn't cry immediately. I felt numb. And then days later, the pain arrived all at once, not just for him, but for myself. I didn't shout. I didn't accuse. I asked him one simple question. Was any of it real? He couldn't meet my eyes. That was answer enough. I ended it quietly. I didn't expose him. I didn't ruin his future. I simply walked away. For the first time in my life, I chose dignity over attachment. And it hurt, but it healed me too. Love is not proven by persistence. It is proven by respect. Loneliness can make even the strongest woman forget her worth. But betrayal, painful as it is, can also be a teacher. I am still Charlotte, still 38, still beautiful, still alone, but no longer empty. And that is enough. If you liked this story, please like, share, and subscribe. Your support means a lot to me. I will be back soon with more stories to help you learn English. Take care and remember, you are strong, you are brave, you deserve love and respect. See you next time.